Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers make Bronny James announcement after 9 straight missed games. The Los Angeles Lakers have lost 2 straight games and 3 of their last 4. While he finished with 29 points in Wednesday's blowout loss to the Miami Heat, star forward LeBron James has mostly struggled in his last 7 games, which has contributed to his team going just 2-5 in that stretch. Averaging 18.6 points in his last 7 contests, James is converting on just 11.8% of his three-point attempts while turning the ball over 5 times per game. As James has struggled, his son Bronny James has been sidelined due to a left heel contusion. James has missed the last 9 games due to this heel injury, last appearing in NBA action on November 11 against the Toronto Raptors. It was announced by the Lakers on November 30, via team reporter Mike Trudell, that James would begin a ramp-up period before being re-evaluated again. In an encouraging announcement on Thursday, the Lakers revealed that James has been upgraded to questionable on the injury report for the first time since suffering his heel injury. Friday's matchup against the Atlanta Hawks is the last of a 4-game road trip for the Lakers. If James is healthy, it seems the rookie guard could rejoin the South Bay Lakers for their home game against the San Diego Clippers on Saturday. James last appeared in a G League game on November 17 against the Stockton Kings. The 55th overall pick in the 2024 NBA Draft has averaged 5.0 points in 2 G League games. Playing 16 total minutes at the NBA level so far, James has scored 4 points on January 6 from the field. Lakers urged to blow it up and trade LeBron, AD. Since winning the 2020 NBA championship, the Los Angeles Lakers have been a picture of inconsistency. LeBron James and Anthony Davis have struggled to lead a disjointed roster. Darvin Ham led them to the Western Conference Finals in 2023. However, they were swept by the Denver Nuggets. Even with a new coaching staff led by J.J. Redick, the Lakers have been unable to produce consistent performances. On some nights, they project to be a serious force in the West. On others, they look like a roster in dire need of change. According to the Volume's Jason Timpf, who was speaking on his Hoops Tonight podcast, the Lakers might need to tear their roster down and begin a complete rebuild. I think they should trade LeBron and AD, Timpf said. Start the rebuild. Jeanie Buss needs to fire Rob Pelinka and hire someone who actually understands basketball. These guys can't be G bothered. They just can't be bothered. They need to completely break this thing down. And they need to reinvest in J.J. Redick and a new front office and try to build a quality basketball culture from the ground up. The Lakers are 12-10 this season. However, their recent performances have undoubtedly left the fanbase concerned that their current slide could turn into a season-defining run of bad play. On Wednesday, December 4, the Lakers suffered their second consecutive blowout loss. There was no energy on either side of the ball. On defense, the Lakers stood around and watched as the Miami Heat used the game for target practice, with a sea of purple and gold jerseys standing around blaming one another. During his post-game news conference, Redick called on his team to take ownership of their performances. There has to be some ownership on the court and I'll take all the ownership in the world, Redick said. This is my team and I lead it. I'm embarrassed. But I can't physically get us organized. I'm not blaming players. I own this. But, gonna need some ownership on the court as well. There's not a sense for me that we're together right now. LeBron backed his head coach's statement, admitting that the team's current malaise is on the players and isn't the product of bad coaching. Everything that Redick, said is correct, James said. We've been preaching it since July. I wasn't here since July, I was preaching some other stuff with Team USA, but it's been preached since July, so there should be an understanding. It's not on the coaches, it's definitely on us, for sure. If the Lakers can't figure things out on the court, entering a full-scale rebuild may be the best option available. Paul Pierce takes shots at 2024 Celtics, old LeBron teams. After the Boston Celtics tore through the 2024 NBA playoffs with a 16-3 record en route to the franchise's 18th NBA title, the fan base couldn't stop discussing one question: which Celtics team is better, this one or the last group to raise a banner before they pulled it off? That would be the 2007-2008 team, headlined by dominant big man Kevin Garnett, sharpshooter Ray Allen, and of course, captained by fan favorite Paul Pierce. Plenty of fans still believe that the experience and intensity of the 07-08 team would win out. However, the depth of the more recent squad, which won a championship despite missing one of its top players, Kristaps Porzingis, for most of the postseason, is the defining factor in the eyes of many. Pierce, now a very outspoken member of the NBA media, thinks he knows who would win his team. He said so during a recent episode of the Dan Le Batard Show, after the host simply stated, "Paul, this team's better than yours." Pierce did not agree. Let's check out a clip of the interaction. Pierce conceded that the comparison is damn close, given how good the current Celtics truly are, but believes that what the 2007-2008 team lacked in skill versus them, Pierce's 2008 team had with will, echoing the narrative about mentality being a differentiator between the two loaded Celtics squads. Le Batard made sure to get Pierce to confirm beyond any shadow of a doubt that his rationale centers around the ability of a less skilled squad to physically dominate a highly talented but less tough team, to which the Celtics legend responded, "Absolutely, we're gonna turn it into a bar fight." Pierce is undoubtedly a Celtics legend, but it will always be a bit disappointing to the franchise's fans that the big three of himself, Garnett and Allen, not to mention star point guard Rajon Rondo, only won a single championship together. James was a huge reason why they didn't pick up any more hardware, as his Heat eliminated the Celtics to cap off both the 2011 and 2012 postseasons, after he couldn't get past Boston in 2 tries with the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's an interesting possible connection between his motivation to take shots at both James's squads and the current Celtics. They're the two main groups that diminish the legacy of his teams, and by extension himself. The 2024 Celtics being the best modern iteration of the franchise is arguably a tough look for the 2008 group, and James's Heat were the main roadblock in the way of another ring for Pierce's squads. Regardless, Pierce will always be a hero to Celtics fans of all ages, but it's clear to see that there just might be some selfish priorities underlying his analysis. Skip Bayless questions LeBron James' announcement from the Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers have been struggling as of late, and they reached a new low when they suffered a 41-point loss at the hands of the Miami Heat on Wednesday night. Making matters even worse, LeBron James popped up on the team's injury report on Thursday, which led to a big reaction from Skip Bayless. Despite Los Angeles getting blown out of the water by Miami, James played 29 minutes in the game, including a 3.5-minute stretch in the fourth quarter when the team trailed by over 30 points. LeBron's minutes have become a pretty pertinent topic of discussion, especially as he endures a brutal cold stretch. Bayless, who may just be James' biggest hater, quickly took note of the superstar's appearance on the team's injury report, and he ended up going ballistic. Bayless questioned why LeBron was playing in the fourth quarter of their contest against the Heat if he's dealing with a cranky foot. Lakers news, blowout losses, LeBron and AD slumps, injury updates. When a movie turns out to be a bust, Hollywood executives are quick to pull the plug. In the NBA, teams don't have the luxury of being able to go straight to streaming or to cancel upcoming projects. You've got to ride it out, for better or for worse. The Los Angeles Lakers are looking more and more like a bust every day. Wednesday night was the low point of the season, a 41-point spanking at the hands of the Miami Heat, whose previous biggest wins of the season were by 17 over the beleaguered 76ers and 20 over the hapless Wizards. Beleaguered and hapless are two words that aptly fit the Lakers right now, but they don't tell the entire story. LA looks old and broken at the moment, and worse yet, they've been called out for a lack of effort by head coach J.J. Redick on several occasions already. If this was the NFL, the Lakers would be anxiously awaiting their bye week to get straightened out. If it was Old Yeller, somebody would take them out back and shoot them. Time will tell if the Lakers are able to right the ship, but for right now, it's all bad news coming out of LA. Let's get into it. Following Wednesday's loss to the Heat, the Lakers are now 12-10 on the season. That's a better record than most teams can claim, but a look beyond just the standings proves that the Lakers are not as good as their record suggests. When the Lakers win, it tends to be close. That's good in that it shows they can close out games. When they lose though, it's usually by a lopsided margin, and it's only getting worse recently. The Lakers only have 3 single-digit losses on the season, and they've come at the hands of 3 quality teams, the Suns, Magic and Thunder. 7 of their losses have been of the double-digit variety, though. You might want to look away, Lakers fans. Bam Adebayo's Heat bounce back versus Lakers draws top 3 center Tyler Herro take. The Miami Heat beat the Los Angeles Lakers in what ended up being the 3rd largest margin of victory in franchise history by 41 points Wednesday night, 134-93. While Heat star Tyler Herro lit it up from deep, it was also a productive performance from Bam Adebayo, who has had a cold start to the season shooting the ball. Going into the game, Adebayo had the 2nd lowest true shooting percentage, which also factors the value of 3-point field attempts and free throws out of 91 players who had at least thrown up 200 shots. Looking at his general shooting percentage, it was at 41.9% from the field, which would be his lowest in his entire career, along with averaging a relatively low 15.6 points per game. Against the Lakers, he would score 14 points on an efficient 6-for-8 shooting from the field while also collecting 10 rebounds and recording 7 assists. Adebayo had obtained his 9th career triple-double against the Toronto Raptors on November 29 and had several other games recently where he was close to the rare mark. Heat's Tyler Herro says Bam Adebayo is a top 3 center in the NBA. The Heat captain in Adebayo looked as comfortable as ever on offense, capitalizing on high percentage looks close to the basket and even his teammates setting him up for success like in the highlight reel dunk he had on Lakers' Max Christie. Herro would speak after the game and talk about what he likes to see from the center and even say he's a top 3 center in the NBA. Very beneficial. But, I just liked how aggressive he was, how assertive he was, Herro said. He's a handful to deal with when he's getting downhill in transition, and then when he collapses, the defense is able to make plays. So just clearing his head, I think, and just getting all the noise out of his head, stop reading whatever the hell he's reading, and just be Bam, like literally he's a top 3 center in the NBA for a reason that he has to continue to just be that, be himself. Stop reading stuff. Bulls and Lakers, trade rumors gaining traction around one name. The most significant difference between this season's Chicago Bulls and the last several campaigns is the front office spearheading this year entirely open for business. After owning the NBA's longest streak without a trade, over 3 calendar years, Arturas Karnisovas and the front office group shipped away 2 veteran pieces, Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan, in favor of youth and future assets. While many thought it was just the beginning of a complete rebuild in Chicago, the phones have remained silent since the summer. Whenever they are asked about this at press conferences, the upper management remains firm in their willingness to negotiate trades and are actively selling former All-Stars Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. After their worst loss of the season last night, a 41-point thrashing at the hands of the Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Lakers are looking for answers. Does their solution reside in Chicago? The Lakers are in shambles after an incredible 10-4 start to their season under new head coach J.J. Redick. The Lakers have fallen off the tracks. They've posted a 2-6 record over their last 8 outings, including the 2nd worst margin of defeat in the entire league last night, losing to Miami by 41 points. Redick took most of the blame after the embarrassment that marked their second consecutive loss by 29 or more points, but also said that some accountability needed to be taken between the lines. LeBron James fully backed his head coach, saying he agrees 100%, 1000% with whatever Redick assessed. Will they be searching for help? Nikola Vucevic will be gone by 2025, first reported by ESPN senior insider Shams Charania. The Lakers have been looking for a center to complement Anthony Davis. This addition would ideally be a competent three-point shooter with ample court vision to space the floor. Vucevic's skill set and scorching hot start from deep this season make him the perfect candidate for the Western Conference contender. How soon do they hit the panic button, and how expensive is Vucevic on the market? James's timer is likely at most 3 years remaining in the NBA. This creates a sense of urgency in Los Angeles and a rapidly closing contention window that hopefully pushes desperation from the franchise. Vucevic is shooting over 58% from the field this season and better than 47% from three-point land. Common names being thrown Chicago's way in a potential trade include Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and future draft capital. Does one or more of those assets push Karnisovas's group to pull the trigger, or can they obtain more elsewhere for the 34-year-old stretch center in the second to last year of his contract? And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Nikola Vucevic? Leave your opinion in the comments.